Yes, good morning from Amsterdam. Good afternoon, almost evening in the Netherlands. And I hope a very bright and beautiful morning in.
LA, Los Angeles. It's actually
Nice.
cloudy and colder than usual, but hey, we just have
Yeah.
to take what we get. Yeah.
Yes, Connie, last time when you joined us, it was a beautiful weather in the Netherlands. Today, not so much. So sorry for that. But I see the sun maybe coming. So you bring the sun out of the clouds. So
Nice.
that's
Nice.
it. So welcome.
Thank
Um,
you.
for those of you who don't know Connie's for the third time. I'm very grateful and blessed that she made time in her busy schedule to share her experience and wisdom with me and with you. um, Connie is leveraging over 25 years working directly with women business leaders in 17 countries, a true international person. And she has synthesized her experience as a senior executive, a strategy coach, a mentor to high net worth business women in more than 10 industries, public and private board members and successful entrepreneurs. And she has been consistently focused on the power of feminine energy in negotiations, networks, and the nuances areas of business leadership. She's also master trainer, master coach for Tony Robbins for many years. And especially for women that didn't have role models, true role models in leadership, of women that are strong and feminine. Now you have one just with us right now, Connie. Connie, welcome.
Thank you. And thank you for
Thank you
the
so much.
introduction. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And you know that we have this tradition, Connie, um, to center, because this is a sacred place, a sacred space, and a sacred experience that we are going to co-create. So it's to show some reverence and to center ourselves. And we're going to talk about the dance between the good times and the bad times. So why don't we do a short mantra on new beginnings? Because there is always a new chance, right? We're still here. So
We're still here.
we're still here. So it's a short one. We close our eyes and occupy a position of strength, and for women in a feminine way, strong and feminine, whatever is for you. And for the men, you do it your own way, the masculine way. And as we connect to our breath with a sense of gratitude that is still happening for us and not taking it for granted, and given the theme of today, let's have on the in breath the mantra inside our head, new, and on the out breath, beginnings. And I'll do it 3 times and that's it. So breath in, new, breath out, beginnings. Breathe in, new, breathe out, beginnings. One more time, new, breathe out, beginnings. The breath gives us always a chance to breathe again, right? Life is giving us this chance. Connie, why don't we listen to the whispers of the universe when it's time to change or do something, and we keep going till something, a crisis occurs or bad times are coming?
I've been thinking about that, right? And there's a couple of things. We are all busy. That's one, right? Life is busy. So we do the best we can. It's not that we really consciously are going, Well, we ignore this. It's not a conscious decision. You're busy. We all live in established patterns. When you have a
Yes.
family, you have to get up at a certain way. There's breakfast, there's school, there's sport, there's work. So it's all structured in patterns. Now, patterns, when you do them a lot, they get stored in your subconscious brain, so you don't have to think about it. You just follow the flow, right? Your own flow. And there's not particularly an opening for
Yeah.
anything new to come in. It requires conscious awareness.
Yes.
Now, it's easier for most people just to follow their patterns. And most people, the majority of people, do a great job. And the majority of people are really great people. So there is on its own nothing wrong with it. And they
Yeah.
live in their own little bubble, which is their
Yes.
family, their community, their church, their school. And in their own little bubble, they really do good. I believe that. But then when you have to get out of the bubble, see what's happening, you know the saying, like, first you get touched by a feather, right? And most
Yes.
people just brush it off, and then you get touched by maybe a brick, and people go like, wow, what's going on, this is not nice, and hurry back to do their normal thing, right?
Yes.
We are creatures of certainty as well, and the normal thing
Yes.
gives you certainty. Well, now with the whole world involved in the pandemic, it's like a 10-tonner truck right in your face, right? So we
Yes.
can't ignore this. Our patterns have been massively disrupted. So we
Yes.
have to listen, we have to look what's going on. And
Yeah.
then on top of all of that, where there is tension, where there is illness, where there is loss of jobs, loss of money, where the whole world is like just thrown into uncertainty,
Yes.
people are on edge. People are anxious, people are frustrated, people are angry, people are uncertain, they're set, all the emotions we don't want to
Bubble up.
feel. Yep.
Shh.
And we put them aside as much as we can, right? Because
Yeah.
we don't go to negative emotions. They're right in your face. So when something is happening, and I'm speaking about the situation with George Floyd in America, when
Yes.
something is happening like that, which is awful and inhumane and barbaric, and it has happened before,
Yes.
it has such an impact now because we're not standing up for it anymore. It
Yeah.
needs, something needs to happen. So it penetrated, like you said, your bubble. It penetrated your patterns you normally use, your busyness you normally have, and it has our full attention. So now, having lived quite a while on Earth, there's good times, there's bad times. That's the theme, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's good times. Please enjoy them. They will be coming again. And still, you have pockets of good times, right? And there's bad times. There's bad times of illness. There's bad times of whatever, divorce, death, whatever is happening in your environment. You have experienced bad times.
Yes.
And that's part of life. We go up
Yeah.
and down. So in bad times and in this time, there's massive pain,
Yes. It
massive
is.
pain about how can this happen, how can a human react to react
Why
like
me?
this, why me, why is it happen to this community, why is it not happening to, so there's all kind of like downward spiraling thoughts. But in pain, with the massive pain we have, there can come growth out of
Yes.
this, right?
Yes.
And growth is another word for change.
Yes.
And when people have this awareness of
Hmm.
things that are unjust, not right, and yes, we have a focus on Black Lives Matter right now, all
Yeah.
lives matter, right?
Absolutely.
So when you are looking at growth, how can we grow from this? How do we go on with this? This is a massive wake-up call, right? The whole
Yes.
pandemic was already a wake-up
Yeah.
call. And with this behavior, it's a massive wake-up call. What are we doing, folks?
Yeah.
Are we living in conscious awareness? Are we living in, if I say this, how will it be perceived by
Yeah.
another person? If I do this, how is it being perceived by another person? How do they react to it? I have
Yes.
this beautiful example. One of my friends had this emotional outburst on a platform about, oh my gosh, and what's happening. And she was all emotional, and her heart was totally in the right place. And she said, I don't see colors. And then another person was going, what? You don't see colors? You have to see colors, right? It's not that there's no colors, there's all colors. Well, look at it both ways.
Yeah.
I see colors. I see differences. You have a beautiful coiffed black hair. I have not, right? You're from
Yes.
a different country than I am. We both lived
Yes.
in the Netherlands. I see all colors, whatever color that is. I see all
Yeah.
different shapes and forms and eyes and, structure of hair. And I see all the differences. And
Yeah.
personally, I marvel in the differences, right?
Yes.
Tall, short, whatever. But then also, I see beyond that color and I see character.
Yes.
And when you have the ability to see beyond color, beyond circumstances, beyond culture, beyond what they represent on the outside, you are living in awareness.
Yes.
And I think the world needs to be aware of its impact. People need
Yeah.
to be aware of its impact. If I do X, what is the reaction?
Yeah. And then the awareness is coming home, basically. You know,
Absolutely.
have
Yeah.
you heard this kind of thing? Oh God, please help me this time, and I promise I'll be good. I'll do good next time. People can say,
Yes.
yeah, and then it's the same. And same time, next time, it's gonna be the same. Oh, it's the last time I do this, and please, please help me, God, external, and I'll do good. So they're basically perpetuating patterns, 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 still in a conscious way, going
It's
externally.
yes, and it sometimes comes out of desperation,
Yes,
and that is not a good place to be in order to take action. And I understand, and then that would be the only way they can ask, right?
yes,
So going back to patterns is then the answer, right? Because when the crisis has passed, then they go back in their old patterns instead of
there you
being
go.
aware that it takes just a little bit to make a change.
Yes,
And what we need, in my opinion, and we need way more than this, is to have the strength
yeah,
and the courage to take a different action.
yeah. The thing is, you know very well that Virginia Satir, who is
Mm-hmm.
probably a number one therapist on family in the
Yeah,
past, right?
one of
She
my
was saying that
heroes. Yeah.
exactly a role model, and she was saying that the instinct to keep things familiar is the strongest for us. And what you're saying, to get awareness requires growth and change. So how to deal with, because sometimes the distance might be very small, a small step into awareness where bliss is and when opportunities as they are, but people are afraid to leave their familiar zone and to think differently.
Yes, and it's not that you have to change everything. You don't. And it's not that you have to completely change. It's not. When I work with people, I often describe it, it's more going back to who you really are. Just strip the layers of beliefs and roles and what people expect from you,
Yeah.
and really go back to what you are and take one little baby step. How many
Yes.
billion people do we have on the planet, right? Billions and
Yeah.
billions and billions. If you all take one little baby step,
Yeah.
then it would make a huge difference. So things in America, at least, have to change
Yeah.
on a fundamental level. Now, we can influence that by the protests,
Yeah.
and hopefully we will have that change on a fundamental level. But that doesn't make you get rid of your responsibility for your own baby steps.
Yes.
So, what is it that you have said in anger? What is it that you have said in innocence or in ignorance?
Yeah.
What is it that you go do differently? We live in times of uncertainty, and most people have a short fuse.
Yeah.
Sometimes I even have to check in with myself because I get like, agitated by something and it's a small thing, and I go, come on, take a deep breath, let it go. What is really important here? I
Yes.
think people should open their mind. I've been once at a spiritual course. I'm a very practical spiritualist. And I
Yes.
was once on a spiritual course, and it was beautiful. It was called Oneness. And it was literally meant to be oneness because they invited people of all religions. It
Yes.
didn't matter their religion. But what matters that we're underneath all experience the same emotions, that underneath we're all the same.
Yeah.
You know, you have people that are great people, okay people, not so great people in every shape and form and color. But
Yeah.
if you know that you're just the same as every other human being, how would you like to be treated?
Yeah, absolutely. And when we talk about oneness, because that brings people together. But by the way, James McClough join us and send you regards. Yes, good to have
Hi,
you here,
Jim.
James.
Hi. Yeah.
Um, People think when they hear, some people think when they hear about oneness, oh my God, this cuckoo. But actually, because you are a neuroscience as well, and then you are a spiritual person, but you are a scientist as well, and you're practical. Oneness appears when we alter our brain waves. We go into a deep state of being in which we attain gamma brain waves, and then we experience these states of awe, of love, and then I'll take you here, and this happening. But when we are in anger, when we are in the frustration, when we are in anxiety, it's beta, which is it's a deeper different brainwave. So it's not cuckoo, it's just also changing here. And then what you are saying, take a breath, change what's happening in your physiology, right? Can you expand a little bit on this? Because
Yes. Yes, and it's like that living in awareness, right? And then I'll
yeah,
come back to the love. Um, it's living in awareness, knowing where you're at,
yeah,
knowing that you get triggered by something, and
yes,
knowing the emotion that
yeah,
follows, and then choosing whether you want to act on that emotion or not. So you
yes,
kind of have like a couple of safeguards in between before you react. Because
yes,
we're all human, we're all fallible, we all get like triggered into emotions, but you have the choice to act on it or to change it.
yes. Between stimulus and response, right? You
There is
have
a space where you can say yes or no,
yeah,
right? And that's living in awareness. Sometimes the space is like a thousandth of a millisecond, right? I don't know how to say that differently. And you boom, you just react. And then to just make that longer, to do
yes,
the mini assessment. Hey, where am I? What am I feeling? Is this the right thing to do? You can do that. It
yes,
requires a little bit of practice. Now, I see a lot on the social media, the answer is love. And I totally believe that. But I also acknowledge that for a lot of people who have never experienced something like that, it's
right,
a big step. They
yes,
go like, yeah, love.
yeah,
Love
yeah,
is the
yeah,
answer for everything,
absolutely,
right? What are
yes,
you saying? This is silly. This is
yeah,
whatever they call it. But I would say the step before might be just compassion.
yes,
Have compassion for other people. Have compassion what other people are going through.
yeah,
We're all in the same situation, but the circumstances differ.
yeah,
I'm like very fortunate in this circumstance, as I still am. I have a house, I have something to eat, I have friends, I have my word. Not everybody can say that.
yeah,
So be aware. Again, aware is the word of our talk, right? Be
yes,
aware of whom you're talking to. Be aware of what they have been going through. Be aware of their circumstances. And if you don't know, ask.
yeah.
And
But
before
that's
you ask, really establish like a connection, right? That you ask it
yeah,
for the right reasons.
yeah,
Sorry, what did you want to say?
yeah. Some people have difficulties in asking.
And why would that be? Because they don't want to know the answer, or they're afraid that the answer is not to their liking. Well,
Could be.
here's a clue: the answers will not be to your liking.
So what
Most
to
of
do
them.
then? What to do then?
keep on asking. Is
Yeah.
there anything I can do to support, to help? Is there anything that you need at this moment?
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
here. I'm not sure if I can help, but I have a listening ear.
Yeah. Yeah.
And together we'll find a solution for, like, maybe one little thing that makes a difference.
Yeah.
So that's why I said earlier, it needs courage.
It needs courage.
And
Absolutely.
people know exactly what you were talking about, Catalina, and they are already building in to not answer. How are
Yeah.
you doing? Good.
That's
Or
it.
like,
What we hear. Yeah. It's
or in the UK, not too bad,
not no
right?
problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Hmm.
it's built in, and it's
Yeah.
also, hard for some people to really
Yeah.
open up and
Yeah.
to say, well, actually, this day is very shitty.
Yeah.
This day is not a good day. This day I feel XYZ.
Yeah.
Or they get angry at their circumstances. So
Yes.
there is a lot for us to learn, for us that have good days in these bad
Yes.
days,
Yeah.
to learn
Yes.
about the bad days.
Yeah. Yes, James. Understand and appreciate their world. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There is a lot of pain. How and pain. It's like people. Many people do anything not to feel the pain, but from pain comes growth as well. So, do you have any suggestions or share from your experience how to deal with pain in a way that is constructive and in a way that helps you
First,
navigate that?
yeah, first to acknowledge that is there is pain and you can do nothing about it. I mean, when you lose your brother, that is painful.
Yeah.
When you lose a family member, a child, that is painful. There's nothing much what people can say that will make that better. So there's a process in grieving that certainly take that on, take time to grieve, take time what's happening. And there are several stages of grieving, right? And know that you will get out of it. So there is pain and you cannot like really take that pain away,
Yeah.
but it's also growing pain. I mean, when I was young, I grew very fast when I was like 12, I think. And then your bones are growing, but your muscles are not growing at the same rate. So
Yeah.
there is
And it's me.
literally, and it's a horrible pain. It
Yeah.
is. And
Yeah.
it's a growing pain.
Yeah.
Just have the belief, whatever you believe in, have the belief that that
Yes.
pain will end.
Yeah.
You are growing.
Yeah.
Take that opportunity to do different things. I mean, on television and on the social media, we have seen the horrible things that are happening, right? So there's a
Yeah.
tendency for the news, of course. The news is trying to hook you and they show you all the horrible things. But slowly, 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 I see the beautiful things that are happening too.
Yes.
People that embracing each other, people that speaking up. Even George Floyd's brother is
Yes.
had just really
Yeah.
amazing speech, right? Although it just happened. So
Yeah.
people are getting there. People are
Yeah.
getting there. If we just listen and we make up our own mind and we're not blindly triggered by those emotions that are in the end not
Yeah.
helping.
Yeah. And it's also good to know and just to repeat yourself that nothing stays the same. The good times, the bad times, there is a cycle of life. We are just moving from one energy to another, from one experience to another. We cannot hold on of the good times. Oh, keep them like this, or the bad times. There is always movement. That's life, right?
Right.
Life is movement.
And some of us have been dealt a better card than other people. I fully acknowledge that.
Yeah.
And what always helps me, can I recommend something? It's a pill of a book. When
Yeah, I
something
love this.
when something really bad happened, like years and years and years and years ago, it really gave me an understanding. And the book is called Sacred Contracts by Carolyn Miss,
Yeah, yeah,
MYSS. And the concept is, we all have a soul. We know
yeah,
that, right? We have body, mind, heart, soul, however you call it, but there's a soul. There's something inside of us. And that soul has life cycles as well. That soul has to experience things. That soul represents an opportunity for you to learn if you're willing to take it on.
Yeah.
And she says that whenever there's a baby born, wherever all the souls are, the angel, the head angel or the head keeper is coming up and they say, I have a contract here. And in this lifetime, you will go through XYZ. Are you,
Yeah.
who's willing to take that on?
Exactly.
So the very brave souls that are
Yeah.
taking on life circumstances that are far, far, far from
Yeah.
ideal are the very brave souls that have
Yes.
the opportunity to do something with it, to grow with it. And I
Yeah.
truly believe it. I truly believe that I am not the same person I would have been if that didn't happen all those
Yeah.
years ago. So
Absolutely.
there is an opportunity, there is an opening. Is
Yeah.
it tough? Is it heart wrenching? Is it horrible at times? Yes.
Yeah.
But rely on whatever faith, whatever trust, whatever strength, whatever courage you have to step through that opening
Yeah.
and do something with it.
Yeah. Connie, I was born during a totalitarian regime, in Romania
Yeah.
during communism. And especially in the year 80s, there was no food. Everything was rationalized. So we were allowed 5 eggs a month, but we were not sure we would get them. It was very difficult. Then Ceausescu, who was the dictator, decided, I'm going to pay all the foreign debt, which meant in advance, which meant penalties from international banks. So he said, oh, you know what? We have this. So I'm going to cut the electricity in cities, which meant that as of 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock, I don't remember, but didn't have electricity in the evening. So I remember I was in high school studying with candles, studying for university, to prepare for university. But I always, so nothing would have indicated the life I have now. It was really tough, Connie. But I had that, there is a sense of knowingness inside. It's going to be better. And having, a light, it's going to be better and better. And this we shall
Oops.
pass. It's like exactly this is how it was happening. It was completely dark, Connie, in Romania, like it is now in your.
And I don't
I
know
can't see you, but it was
how to
completely dark
get
in
back.
Romania. So you need to put the camera, or otherwise,
Sorry about that,
it's a
people.
great metaphor. So when you see dark, when you are
Yeah,
in
there I
darkness,
am. Yeah.
exactly there is light coming.
Yeah,
Light comes.
exactly.
Nothing stays the same, right?
Yeah, and I'm sorry to have that interrupt. And
No,
I
it's
know a
perfect. It
little
is as
bit.
dark as and light.
Yeah, so I wanted to press away the message. Do you see the message on the screen or not? I'm fine. Yeah, there was a
No,
message
you're
coming in.
perfect.
Good.
You're perfect.
Okay. So, and I know a little bit coming from Holland and knowing all the stories, and but there's a difference in hearing the stories and living the stories. What a hard time it has been,
Yeah,
and what like a world of difference it is where you are right now,
yeah,
and where you are in a position where you're helping people,
yeah,
and so and also this is happening in America,
yeah.
but also having the awareness that everywhere in the world there's injustice happening.
Exactly.
Look
Exactly.
at different countries, look at
Uh,
different oppression, look at, there's very much injustice in the world, and you can
yeah,
say there's dark, there's light, and they go together. In a way, I do believe that. But when there is dark, we have to bring our light. And if
exactly.
you only make a difference in one life, you make
Exactly.
a huge
Yes.
difference.
Yes. Yes.
So what difference can you make today?
Yeah. 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 And one thing, because it's everybody talks about self-care, but um, I know that you have such a depth, and self-care doesn't mean that we only do our hair, which is also very important.
Tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But self-care, it's also in I consider what we are doing, you and me right now, self-care. Because Connie, after this conversation, I go to my life and I feel fuller because of the energy that I receive from you. And I
Thank you.
see this
Likewise.
self-care, you know, bring people that inspire you around you, right? And open yourself to them, because this to me is self-care and comes also self-love, and this is just uplifts me. Do you agree with this?
Absolutely. So do the things that are healthy to
Yeah,
fill yourself up, because there is, I don't know even if it's a saying, but it's my mother raised me to take care of everybody around me. And only when that was all done and there was anything left, I could take care of
maybe.
myself. Right. And a lot of people have been raised that way. But when you do that, it's great that you take care of other people. But if you give, it gets empty at one point.
Yes. Yeah.
So the better way is to fill yourself up so you can give endlessly.
Yeah.
And giving and filling yourself up is definitely talking with people that are giving you something, that are
Yes.
giving that are like-minded, that are busy like with something else outside of the normal. That's one way. But it's
Yes.
also take care of your diet, take care of your working out, take care of your health. There's many ways that you can fill yourself up. And it's a
Yeah.
necessity in order to reach out and in order to help other people.
Yeah.
Totally. Totally.
And yeah, and then I think, a new tradition. I was thinking this morning here, because there is so much happening in the world, and I bring people from all over the world. You are from Los Angeles. Tell us something great about Los Angeles right now,
Los Angeles,
please.
the reason why I love it, that there's space. Coming from the Netherlands, there's little space. There's space. Nature is beautiful here, and there are still, even in these dark times, and if you don't see it now, it will come. There are opportunities. There's always opportunities. Where Holland is sometimes more conservative and more stuck in patterns, right? Because we exist such a long time. This is the land of the opportunities still. We got a setback. We're in dark times.
Yeah.
The light will follow. A lot of people will working on it. So it's a really great place to be. And when you know LA, which I didn't know for a long time, so a girlfriend of mine took me under her wing and showed me all the beautiful parts. You have to go look for the hidden treasures of Los Angeles, and there are many.
And can you share with us one that it's?
Yes. So what is the one I love the most? There's many things I love the most. So there is, for instance, they have this big park in the middle of LA, right?
Yeah.
Huge, huge. And there's a conservatory. So you can
Uh-huh.
walk in the canyons and walk the trails and go, but there's also a conservatory. And
Yeah.
they made a constellation out
Yeah.
of custom jewelry from the stars of years
Ah,
in the 50s.
oh,
It's
beautiful.
it's a small thing, but it's such a creative thing to do, and it's
Yeah.
beautiful. Right,
Yeah.
there is old like lighthouses, there is like this beautiful harbor, there are districts where you can go, right, the flower market, the fashion markets, and all of that. There is so much to see when you know what is out there and beyond the normal touristy thing. So next time you come, we go look at some
I
hidden
even
treasures.
so
Yeah.
there is a lot of beauty in the world. We just need to look after it. And especially for you, because you come from Holland, I'm gonna turn the cameras for you special to see the Dutch sky, because I know that you might love it. The typical Dutch sky. Can you see it?
Oh, beautiful.
Just in
Yes.
case you know a
Yeah.
little bit of Holland, and that would
Yeah.
be my husband with the dog. But
Oh, nice. Yeah.
see the beautiful sky of the
Yeah.
Netherlands. Just a little bit of love from the Netherlands for
Thank
you.
you. Thank
Yes,
you.
thank
I
you so
love the
much.
Netherlands.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
thank you so much, Connie, and I hope that you will be back again, sharing your wisdom and life experience and your knowledge. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day in LA. And for
Thank
the
you.
everybody, have a wonderful weekend, and stay safe, stay healthy, and look for the beauty
We
as well.
will. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
having me.
thank you.